Alrighty. Welcome. Welcome to Market Update Time with your host, Johnny Howe. Welcome to another Market Update Time. I've had such a phenomenal weekend. Yeah, and we're going to be having a good look across all of all the markets today. I'm going to share some stuff with you. So one thing that I do see, guys, and one thing that I'm noticing across the board is obviously what's happening with silver and gold. Big selling. We're going to talk about that. We're going to be talking about, what's going on with the bigger picture. Plus, also, I want to bring up some other charts that I haven't shown you before, and I want to share with you and show you the longer term picture in these markets here, and something to do with the S&P 500. That one of the reasons why I was really interested in and I actually did expect some sort of a bounce in the S&P 500, and I'll share with you the long-term view, and it's so important to keep an eye on these charts of that there. So we're going to be looking at all those things today, guys. So let's actually go through this right now. I'm just going to bring up the typical disclaimer for you guys, and then we're going to get started. Just give me a hey or yay or nay in the chat box. Let me know where you're watching from, and then we are going to get started. So once again, guys, we're going to be looking at all the markets today, and also I'm going to be sharing with you some longer term views or longer term pictures to share with you what's the reason why these longer term pictures, longer term views are so important in the markets. So let me bring up the typical disclaimer. Alrighty, guys. So let me just do this here. Alrighty, guys. Do not place a trade based on what you see in this session today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There is no guarantees of making money in the market, and trading is a difficult game if you don't know what you're doing and you don't know how to understand these markets. So be smart about the way that you're trading. And this is just general advice only. I'm not telling you to buy or sell anything in this session. Alrighty, so let's actually get straight into this right now. One thing I want to share with you guys, and one thing I want to walk through with you today is what's really going on in these markets right now. So if you guys remember, or if you haven't been following along, the last couple of sessions I've been talking about with the metals here have been the fact that we've been at some major areas of resistance here, and especially the silver market. Now, I didn't know whether we're going to continue to sell off or not. So on the gold market, we definitely sold off, as you can see. And on this daily chart here, you can see we've definitely broken this last significant low. So this is definitely an end of trend type of indicator. So it hasn't actually confirmed a downtrend yet. But if we get some sort of lower high out of this here, then that's probably going to start a new downtrend, and we're probably going to start to continue to see a lot more downside to come in silver. In gold there. So that's one thing there. Again, guys, you can never pick the exact top, but you can see when momentum starts to change, and you can see what actually happened here, how the momentum was. We had rise up, pull back, rise up, pull back, rise up, and then it failed, and then it started to slowly roll over. So we're definitely starting to change trend right now, and we look at this bigger picture here on this weekly chart, which is just really important to do. Let me bring up this chart here. We can definitely see, let me actually erase all. So what I'm going to do, I want to see. All right, so I'm just bringing up long-term view. This is so important, guys, to do when you're doing analysis. So I'm looking at the weekly chart right now, and this tab up the top here, guys, this little thing up the top here, this is actually different software I'm going to be sharing with you guys in just a minute. So what's so important to do, guys, when you start this, okay, what's really going on in these markets here? You want to go from, say, the bottom. You want to draw a line up to the top, and I can see that there's a lot of stuff going on through there. As you can see, right, there's this whole line was definitely respecting the market. So if I bring that line up through there, it could quite possibly be a bit of a bounce through here, because the market was definitely respecting that. Now, also what I can see, I'm just trying to see what also that is in line with this here. And also I can see that there's something going on through there. Not really. So we'll leave that alone. All right. So there is a trend line coming down through there, that this whole line through here was indeed definitely a significant area of support and resistance in the markets. So I also can see, if I draw a trend line down through there to there, I also can see there's something going on through there as well too. So you see what I'm doing here, guys? What I'm doing here is I'm just trying to see where is there significant resistance. You can see what actually happened here, right? So now you can see where we're at right now. And plus we definitely do have, we definitely did have a lot of support and resistance through there. Now you can see where it's actually rejected at that level there. And now we've actually reversed from this. You can see long term, we're in this sort of triangle pattern. We did actually break down, right? And we broke back up, but you can see how this level through here, okay, so this level through here, found this bounce through here, found this bounce through here, and actually you can see that actually the market actually respected it through here as well too. And then it ran up, rejected at this level, came back down. So it'd be really interesting to see whether we do get some sort of a bounce. Going back to the daily chart now, on gold that is, and we squeeze the chart up as much as possible, you can see how it's actually respected that. So it'll be really interesting to see what actually goes on through here, whether the market does respect this or not. So that's going to be really, excuse me, that's going to be really interesting to see what's going on through there. But the much larger picture is that we ran up and pretty much made almost a double top through here. So we've had a big strong, if you squeeze this up, you can see we had a nice run down and we had a nice run back up. So this could easily hold here and then create some sort of a, like I can definitely see there's some sort of a level. There's a level definitely through here, as you can see, right? Like if I bring that level, what I'm looking at with this level here, guys, is you can see this level here. You got this like all this level through here, this resistance through here. You can see how it actually rejected it through there, right? You can see a lot of rejection, and then not much through there, but there's a little bit through here. And in recent times, you see, remember this guy, this is a weekly chart here, right? This is so important. Look at this here, 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week, and then it broke through. Look at it over here. Couldn't close above, couldn't close above, it closed above there. So what is going on through here right now, right? We get this pretty much this is pretty much this whole area here, right? Is a significant area where we call X marks the spot, so to speak. So when you squeeze up now your daily charts, or let me do this here, I'll open up this weekly chart now, and I open up my daily chart, you can see where we're at right now. Okay, you can see how this weekly chart and this daily chart are starting to come together now, where we could actually get a bit of a bounce here somewhere. Now, again, guys, no one knows definitely what's going to happen. It can possibly keep going down. We have started to get a bit of a lower low through here, but we are getting close to this area of significant area of support through here. Now the thing is that this longer term chart has actually pretty much retraced almost 100% of this down move. So that tells me that there's no one side that's dominant or the other. And what you want to see to get a bit more of a clear picture is who's more dominant. If we looked at this selling leg and then we looked at this buying leg on the weekly chart, we can see that they're both the same, right? So buyers and sellers are equal. They're basically fighting it out. There's no one side dominant than the other. So it'd be really interesting to see what actually happens here with gold and silver, whether it actually does hold there or not. Oh, sorry, gold, should I say. Now, moving the same sort of situation, right? And last week, I was sharing with you guys that unless we actually break through the 1625, then this double top is probably going to form out, so on and so forth. And as you can see, right, like this trend line and this resistance level here has indeed stopped the sellers in the markets, stopped the buyers in the markets quite hard, and we rejected it down. Now, last week I was saying if we do get a nice close above, and I'll go to the daily chart now, let me bring up this daily, let me open up this daily chart over here. If we get a nice close above this 1625, then we're likely to go up to probably this next resistance level on this weekly chart to the right here, which is up this level through here, right? Because once resistance is broken, it's likely to run the next support. Once resistance is broken, it's likely to run to the next resistance, so on and so forth, right? And so now look what actually happened here, right? We broke this support level, big double top, actually a bit of a triple top there. It broke down. Look where it ran straight down to, right down to that next level of support. Now, it does look like the projection here looks like it has a bit more of a room to run on the downside. So it's probably going to get down to probably these levels down through here. Looks like it's going to have a bit of a level through there. So that's what we're seeing there right now on the silver market. But as you can see, guys, and the purpose of me sharing this with you is that whenever you're looking to get into something, make sure you check in that higher time frame, because the higher time frame, and like silver is a really good example of, just because your entry chart is saying one thing, if you're going against some significant areas of support or resistance on that higher time frame, so if you're trading the daily chart and you look at the weekly chart, it's a very, 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 very big key indicator. Same with the SIL as well too. You can see this trend line down through here, right? Now, I actually initially did think that when we started getting a breakup that we're likely to start the follow through. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. You can see it actually, this SIL chart, right? What actually happened? Completely rejected right at that level there and rejected it down. Now, why did it stop here? See, if you're trading, say just, what happened? There we go. If you're trading, say, just the daily chart and you're looking at, say, a couple of months worth of data, call it 3-4 months worth of data, this is all you can see, right? Now, yes, this is important to look at, and this is important to trade. But one of the most important things you can see, right, is like you say, okay, why did it pause around this 28 level? If you weren't looking at your weekly chart, you wouldn't see, oh, let me bring up, this is the weekly chart now on the SIL. Oh, look, I didn't realize that there was a big, strong trend line coming down through here that was likely to come into play. And look, you can see that's where it was there. So if you didn't look at this longer term chart, at least for a couple of years, to see if there's any areas of support or resistance, you wouldn't know that there's a lot of areas of resistance and support through there. So that's what you can see through there, right? So we are still on a downward slope on the overall weekly chart through here. Now, once again, guys, last week I did a session say, yes, breakout time looks like it's going to run. And it just didn't. It completely failed at these levels, and now we've actually completely reversed. Let's go back to the GDX as well too. Same with the GDX, right? Look where the GDX this is the GDX here. Now, yes, when the GDX broke up, I thought, here we go. We're likely to start to go for a run. But the thing is that when you're seeing that, you want to be able to see, okay, does it follow through or not? And you can see here, right, the market actually broke up and then failed. It actually just broke up, no follow through, and then the market actually failed. And then it came down to where we are right now. So if you look at that weekly chart once again, what is that weekly chart there? That weekly chart is what? That weekly chart is that strong area of resistance through there, which is around that $23 level. As you can see, right? So we had this strong area here of this resistance level here. And now on the GDX chart, I really thought they were probably going to break back up and break above there. But you can see how strong that area was through there on this chart. Now, we do have a lot of support and resistance, a pretty strong level of support and resistance. It's pretty much an area that I'm seeing here on this weekly chart. And the area is probably from as low as down through there through to probably up through there somewhere, right? It's more of an area. Now, what I mean by an area, you can see how these wicks, see these ultimate low points through here. These are what the low points are, but you can see how there's a lot of touches also through these levels through here, this level through here. See how it couldn't close below through here, and also over through here as well too. So what does that mean? That simply means, right, this whole area, it's not a finite level, it's more of an area, is likely to be some sort of support in the market. So if I go back to my daily chart now and open up my daily chart, you could expect some sort of support through here in this. Now, if we do come down through here and then we bounce and we get a bit of a lower high and we break this support level here, then guess what? Then it's probably game on. It's probably game on for the sellers again, and we're probably gonna try to challenge the lows again in these metals. So it'd be really interesting to see how this all plays out. I do know there's also a bit of a trend line coming down through here as well too. So this here was also some sort of a significant, this level through here, actually. That level through there, right? That there was a long-term trend line coming through there. So let me squeeze this chart up once again. This is the weekly chart to the left. and the daily chart to the, weekly chart to the right, daily chart to the left. So you can see this whole area through here, right? And this is why it's important. Always keep an eye on those longer term charts, because those areas here, support and resistance levels, can indeed, or no, they, a lot of the times are giving you a bit of a key of where we are in the markets and where we're likely to find support. So you can see here, right? Like we've got this trend line coming down through here, and we've got this area. So this whole area from 21 up to where we are right now is likely to find a lot of support through there. So, you know, in the back of your mind, you know, if you were trying to short right now, GDX, that you're running into a lot of what? You're running into a lot of support level through here. So, and that's where it becomes very, very risky, right? Because now we're getting, and what are we getting here? We got a low, we had a higher low, and a higher low, followed by, now this is going to be a lower low. That means buyers are not in control right now. The sellers are not in control either. No one's in control right now on the short term on GDX. Why? Because it made a lower low. If we rally up and if we rally up and create a lower high and we start to break this 21 level, then once again, we're probably going to start to come back down and challenge these low levels through here. So that's what I'm seeing there right now on the metals here right now, guys. And same for the S&P 500 as well too. I've been saying for quite some time, people are, you know, I know some people have come into my live streams for this last few weeks and saying that they're short in the stock market. They know it's going to crash and all this sort of stuff, and the next leg's going to be down, and they know the exact dates and all that sort of stuff. It's totally ludicrous. All right. And the same thing as well too. Look what we're just pausing here right now on the Dow Jones. We could be getting ready for a big, strong rally up. And as I said before on gold, is that because we had a strong rally down and an equal strong rally back up, that means that both sides are equal. There's no one. This is not a bear market rally. A bear market rally is 50, 60%. A bear market rally is generally not a 100% retracement. So that's what we're looking at through there in these markets through here. You know, and that's the thing about these guys, the thing about these markets, right? We're just got to flow with what the market's telling us, and then we're going to continue to flow with what's going on with the markets. Now, the one thing I want to share with you is the importance of looking at the big long-term charts. Last year, when we actually started breaking on the S&P 500, I actually bought some put options. But I knew long-term that we're likely to find a lot of support down here on the S&P 500. Now, if I squeeze my chart up a bit more, actually, you know what? I won't do this. I'll bring up my other chart. Now, what you're looking at here right now, guys, what you're looking at here is my software that I use to trade the futures and the Forex markets. And you can see I've got Bitcoin and Ripple here as well too, silver and gold, oil. So these are the markets that I like to trade. I do trade. I look at these charts here. And what you're looking at here is a 2-minute chart to the top left, 2-minute chart. This here is a 5-minute chart. This here is a 15-minute chart. This is an hourly chart. And I normally trade, most of my trades are from the 2-minute or the 5-minute. And I'm using the 15 and the 60-minute chart to, once again, look at the support and resistance levels, see where the major trend is, and so on and so forth. Just like I was saying before with the weekly chart. So this is the software that I use. I know I talk a lot about trading the Forex market and futures and stuff like that. This is the software that I use to trade that. I use TC2000 to look at the stock market and also ETFs. And then I use IB to trade options over that. But this platform here, which is called Pro Real Time. It's with my broker, which is IG at this time. Soon I'll be flipping over to NinjaTrader to do all my futures and Forex trading. But right now I'm using IG, and this is basically the software I'm using. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this software up for you is I wanted to share with you this S&P 500 here. And the reason why I wanted to share this S&P 500, which is the cash here, I wanted to share this with you because the thing is that when we're looking at these charts here, when we're looking at the longer term charts, it's so important to see what those longer term charts are doing. So if I bring up this daily chart here once again, and I'm gonna bring up this daily chart here, and I'm gonna open up this, and this is the S&P 500, right? But this is where it's coming into a longer term view. So I'm gonna bring this up to say 10,000 units. So I'm looking at the daily chart right now, and I'm blowing up my chart big time. This is how I knew that we're probably likely to get some sort of a bounce. I didn't know how strong the bounce would be, but I knew I needed to be out of my put options as soon as we got down to this level. So so this is the S&P 500 here, right? And all I've done is I've just squeezed this up as much as possible. I've gone back to like 1983 through here. Actually, it's probably to 1980s. So you can see all my longer term trend lines. And once again, this is the evidence of looking at those longer term charts. It's so important to keep an eye on those longer term charts, this bigger picture, because those lines do come into play. Now, you may not realize it, but they do come into play. And this is where, like, I did buy put options last year, but I knew I had to be out real quickly because we're likely to get some sort of a bounce. Now, I didn't get out of the exact bottom. I actually waited for a bounce. So, for example, when the market came down through here, you can see this line through here, right? This is the TC2000 platform again. And you can see it actually bounced off this trend line here and then rallied up. And as soon as that happened, I knew I needed to be out of my options there. But let me bring up this software here once again, and let me open this up here just a little bit more. And once again, this is the daily chart, but it's just squeezed right up. So you get a long-term view. And as you can see, right, look at this. The line started through here. And look at this here. Bounce there, bounce there. Look at all that bounce through there. Now, is that a coincidence that the market actually bounced through there and the market took off? Of course not. Now, why did we get the bounce through there? Well, people can say a lot of things. But if you're looking at those longer-term charts, which, by the way, guys, I put my hand up and say I wasn't at that time. I was one of those gullible little son of a bitch that actually started to believe the whole hype in media and all that sort of stuff. But as you can see, right, long-term support level through here. Look where we actually supported through here at the election. And then we started to what? Higher, low, and we started to crawl up. Now look what's happening. Look where we came down to. Right down to this level through here. And if I open up my chart a bit more now, let me open this right up and squeeze this up. Look where it came right down to. Is that a coincidence that it found support there? No. That's where I was saying, guys, like one of the biggest things, one of the best things, and sometimes I forget to do myself, but I have to keep reminding myself, is keep looking at those longer term charts, because if the market's free falling, you better believe if there's a longer-term weekly chart, longer-term weekly line through there, or a long-term line that's likely to come into play, we're definitely likely to find a lot of support through there. I don't know why it works. I don't know how it happens. It's just like there's a line on the chart that's been there for the last 10 years, and once it gets down to this level, we're likely to find a bit of support. It's just crazy how it works, but yeah. So you can see how it bounced through here. Now, once again, I had put options here, and once we got this big 1,000-point update, I knew that was it. It was over. Now, as you can see right now, I didn't know how strong the rally would be. No one knows how strong the rally would be, right? That's just, we never know that. So if we're looking at, if we can see that there, right, the long-term charts. Now, if we're looking at this chart here, which we are, and if we go back in time, you can see the exact same things have happened in the past. And a lot of people say that the market's likely to pause here and start to reverse. Now, if similar things happen in the last bubbles, then we have a lot more upside to go before we actually start to tip over. What am I saying here? Well, if you go back through to here, right, if you go back through the tech bubble, you can see a lot of support, and then the market rode down. And let me just go back to the actual time through here, right? This was, bam. This was, let me go back through to here. Right, this was the tech bubble, right? And look at this here. Is this a coincidence? No. Long-term trend line, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, right? 4, 5, 6. Look at that long-term trend line come into play. And then it found support through here. And then guess what? Came back down, came back up, resisted at that line, and then we started to step down. But we were already what? We were already making lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and a lower high, right? See how we actually already started? This was a double top formation here. Higher low, higher low, higher low. Then we actually broke down to start to create this lower low, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs in the markets. So as you can see, right, that's what was going on through there. If we move over to the actual what's it called? Obviously the real estate bubble. Well, what do we see through here, right? We had a low, and a low point through here, low point, and look at this here. But look at this here, right? We ran up, made a high, Then we made a high, and then we came down and created a lower low, and now we ran up, made a lower high, and then we started to step down overall. But it didn't actually get to the trend line, did it? Now, if we're looking at the current market right now, and let me bring this over through to here, bam. If the market, and now, yes, this actually does look like a potential head and shoulder formation. Some people have been saying that in the past. You may be right with that, but we can't call it until it actually starts to confirm. But you can see here, right? We hit this point through here could be some sort of a head, or sorry, left shoulder. This could be the head, and this here could be some sort of a major right shoulder. But you definitely don't want to be doing that until it confirms. But look how far, if we could actually still rally, right? We still could rally past this level through here and back up to the top up here up this trend line. This is the S&P 500. If we go back to the Dow, right? This is the Dow through here. Look where the Dow is. The Dow, pretty much the same thing, but the Dow actually didn't find some major support level through here. Now the Dow, what ended up happening is that this is the line through here that I can see, and we're at this level of resistance right now, and we have been rallying up. So if we're likely to, we still could rally back up to these levels through here if we break this level, and maybe even potentially make a new high before it finds any long-term resistance here in the markets. So it's so important to keep an eye on the charts because, again, guys, no one knows what's going to happen. No one knows what's going to happen. And we just need to keep reading the charts and see what's going on in these markets to get a really good informed choice and decision of what's actually going on in the markets. And so that's what we need, and that's what we want to be able to. That's the way that we need to be able to read the markets and see the markets. And by keeping an eye on these levels through here, you can start to see that they're happening. Now, if we start to break up on the Dow, then we're probably likely to see a lot more upside. Now, back to the S&P 500. Once again, this is the reason why it's so important to keep an eye on these longer-term charts. Now, so say for example, what I mean by that, let me go back to the hourly chart. So if I'm trading, let me look at this one here. One of the Forex markets that I absolutely love trading, which is the AUD USD. Right, so AUD USD. Let me bring this over here for a little bit. Bam, 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 bam. The AUD USD. Easy. Let me bring this up. So what I mean by that is that if I look at the AUD USD and I'm looking at this here, one thing I would do is I will look at this chart here and I start to say, okay, where is the overall trend on this hourly chart? Where is this overall trend on the hourly chart? So if I squeeze my chart up a bit more, I can start to get a bit more of a gauge on where is the trend, where's major levels of support or resistance. So I know by looking at this chart through here that I can see that there's a major area of resistance where we are right now. So there's a major area of resistance right here, right at these levels through there, as you can see, right? So but I also can see that there's a lot of areas of support and resistance through here. Now, why is this important? Why is this important for me to say, okay, as you can see, right, very, very clear that there's a whole bunch of areas of resistance all through here. Because if I now bring up, let me bring this back down through here, and I go to my 2-minute chart, and I'm trading my 2-minute chart as an example. If I open up my 2-minute chart, look where it actually, look at this here. The Aussie dollar gapped up, and look where it stopped, right there at that level. That's not a coincidence. Now, if you're looking at a 2-minute chart, or even the 5-minute chart as an example, you'll say, oh, why did it find resistance through here? And then you'll be able to say, okay, so if you didn't have those lines on there, you'll be able to say, okay, look, that's the reason why it found it, so on and so forth. Now, this is what actually happens on the Forex market because it's Monday morning here or Sunday night overseas. This is when the Forex market starts to open up, and it generally does do a bit of a gapping and all sort of stuff in the morning. So, yeah, just got to give it a bit of time. But this is the whole point here, right? That is saying, okay, and same for the 15-minute chart. If I open up my 15-minute chart, you can clearly see that this whole area through here is indeed a resistance support level. So if I get a really, really good trade on a 2-minute chart or a 5-minute chart, then the through here, I'm not going to trade that. On the flip side, if I see that the 15-minute chart has been going sideways for quite some time, and then suddenly this big breakout bar through here, which is also an entry signal for me, I know that we're getting ready to go for a bit of a run. Why? Because that's how the markets work. If we go sideways for an extended period of time, it's had a lot of fuel, it's had a lot of rest. We're now getting ready to go for a nice run. Now, how far that run's going to be, we never know, right? That's where there's a couple of different major skills in the markets, right? It's trade selection, meaning stick to your trading plan and being consistent, disciplined, and patient. And then once you're in the trade, having very good trade management, which simply means what that means for me is that once I get into a trade, as soon as I'm in profit, I'm bringing my stop to break even plus 1 or 2 or 3 points. So, and then that's it for me. It's either going to come back down and take me out, I'm going to make a small profit, or it's going to keep running and I'm going to make even more profit. But the best thing when it comes to trade management is that as soon as I'm in some decent profit, then I'm looking to have good trade management. I'm not looking at, because if it's in some decent profit and it stops and then completely reverses against that trade, I know 9 times out of 10, then that's all that trade was going to give me, was just a small profit. So that's what I mean by looking at the longer term charts here. And you can see these other markets here that I look at. If we have a look, let me have a quick look at Bitcoin for you, Bitcoin folks. Hourly chart. Oh man, look at that hourly chart. Damn. The calm before the storm. Get ready for a breakout. Let me go to the daily chart here on the Bitcoin. The Bitcoin. How you like that? The Bitcoin. Yeah, there's nothing really much going on. See how there's really no one really in control. It's like really just sideways through here. So not much going on. Let me flip over to the weekly chart here and see what the weekly chart says. Yeah, and the weekly chart is actually, oh, look at that. Look at this here. So this, once again, guys, what have we done here? We've now gone to the weekly chart to get a bit more of a bigger picture. Look at this here. A drop down, sideways small bars. If we drop down again, guess where this is likely to run down to? The next level of support. So if I bring this over through here, where's that next level of major support level? Well, it's probably by looking at this level through here, right? Let me actually squeeze this chart up here once again. Wow, I can see that there's a major level of support through here, right? Now remember what we're doing here, right? We're going back at what? We're going back on the weekly chart here to find these levels of where the market's likely to run to. So this whole level through here, which is 1200, which sounds crazy. I know. But hey, it is what it is, right? So if we go back in time, and if I open up my chart now, we've got a big drop down through here and a sideways movement with all these small bars. Doesn't this here look almost identical to this point? Look at this here. Small bar, small bar, small bar, breakout bar, run. Sideways, small bar, small bar, small bar. We get a breakout, run. Where's it likely to run to? Or where did this run from? Where did this go to? Once this actually broke, so once this broke this level of support, where did it run to? Bam. Once this broke this level of support, where did it run to? It ran to the what? The next level of support and resistance around through here. And then it found that there. That's actually what gave me the trade. I traded this on the daily chart. Let me go back to the daily chart here. I had an entry signal. So this breakout bar through here, not only was my weekly chart saying it was okay, but this breakout candle here is when I shorted it. And then I managed my stop through here. And this is this green up candle here. This is when I got tagged out and I made a really nice short trade, which is, by the way, the only trade that I've actually taken on Bitcoin. A beautiful trade. I think it gave me like, yeah, it was a beautiful success trade. Now, the thing is that I didn't know how long this was going to run for, but I was managing my stop down through here. And as you can see that, and then it rolled over, and that was where it is right now. So if I'm looking at my daily chart now and I suddenly get some sort of a big breakout candle through here, guess what I'm thinking? And see what I'm doing here, guys? If we really look at this here, what am I doing? I'm putting the entry chart, the daily chart, and I'm combining that together and also thinking and keep an eye on that big picture, small picture, big picture, small picture, big picture, small picture, big picture. And when you start to combine all these together, when you start to really, really, really combine all these together, you can start to get a very, very, very powerful entry signal. Not only powerful entry signal, but you can see where it's likely to run to, right? As you can see through here, as we've seen on the other markets we talked about. So if we go now to the weekly chart here, on Bitcoin, if we break this level through here, now people saying the bottom's in Bitcoin. They've been saying that for the last 2 years. Come on now, seriously. And And for people that were following me last year, you guys know, right? I was saying this thing's getting ready to crack. Look at all these small bars, breakout bar. Look at all these small bars. We get a nice breakout bar. Where's it likely to run to? I know this sounds pretty crazy, but if I open up my chart through here, then we're probably going to head back down to around that $1,000 level there. Why? Because that's the next major level of support. Just like it did here. Broke major support. Where did it run to? The next major support. Now, I don't know it's definitely going to run there. So if I do enter a trade, I'm going to make sure that just because I think it's going to run there, I'm going to keep managing my stop just like I did on this other trade that I took back here on just the short trade that I took back here on Bitcoin, how I shorted it through here. I'm still going to manage my stop just because I think something's going to happen. I'm still going to protect my profit so I can maximize my profit as much as possible. And that's what I did through here. I got into here and then I went sideways for a couple of days, but I knew we were in good state. And then the market started to drop and I started bringing my stop down through here. And then when this green candle came up, I got tagged out. So you can never see. Did you notice this here? You notice I didn't pick the top because I didn't know it was definitely going to break out. I waited for confirmation. And notice I didn't get the bottom because I didn't definitely know it was going to be the bottom through here. But what did I get? What did I get? Probably a good 70, maybe 75% of the entire move. If you do that, you're a really, really good trader. Don't try and pick tops. Don't try and pick bottoms. Try to get that chunk there. Wait for confirmation. All that down home country goodness. Oh, yeah. Yeah. How do you like that session for you guys? Bam, bam, bam. Value, value, value. Bam, bam, bam. Value, value, value. And with that being said, let me give my membership a plug. If you want to get your free trial to the Master Trader Lab, go to mastertraderlab.com. And I also have one spot left open for my coaching program. So if you'd like to get access to my number 1 trading strategy and weekly coaching sessions and access to my Facebook group where I'm coaching you every single day, then go to Howell, HOWELL, trader@gmail.com. And that's HOWELL, trader, TRADER, @gmail.com. We will schedule a time to have a chat. I still have one spot left open. And we'll see if you're a good fit to take that last spot for my small inner group of private coaching clients. So there we go, guys. Bam, bam, bam. Value, value, value. All righty, guys. All righty. So, all righty, guys. So let me actually answer some questions right now, guys, and let me go through that. Alrighty, guys, give me a yes in the chat box if you've gotten a lot of value out of today's session. You really, really, really have enjoyed today's session. I've come back from a weekend off and firing all this value at you. Bam, 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 bam. Alrighty. These markets are quite, when you start to really understand these markets, guys, you can start to see what's really going on through here. So really, 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 really simple and really important. Alrighty, guys. So let me. Yeah, Ava, I like your energy. It's because I've actually taken 2 days off. I haven't looked at the market. I haven't looked at charts. I've hardly looked at the computer. I've taken 2 days off completely. I had a great time with my kids on the weekend, and it's amazing what two days can do as well too. And also a positive outlook, guys. A positive outlook. We all go through our tough times. We all go through our hard times, and I'm going through something right now that is a fucking pain in the ass, but you know, I'm dealing with it, but it's all about just coming here and delivering value to you guys. So let me bring this back up here. Let me bring up Great British Pound USD. So yeah, well, this Australian dollar here. So let me answer some questions now, guys. And I will that's howtrader@gmail.com, guys. And if you'd or if you'd like to book a coaching call with me so I can help you get on track. If you're finding it hard with your trading right now and you need my help, then just go to go to John's coaching call. I'm running a bit of a sale right now, John's coaching call, and you'll be able to book in a coaching session with me as well too. Or if you'd just like to get your free trial to the Master Trader Lab, then you can just go do that as well too. So there's a free trial to the Master Trader Lab. So howtrade@gmail.com if you want to apply for my weekly coaching program. If you just want a once-off coaching call to help you with your trading, get it back on track. I'm running a bit of a sale there, and you also get a free trial to the Master Trader Lab there. All links are in the description. Alrighty, guys. So let me scroll up now. Alrighty. Good opportunity. Rav says, good opportunity to buy gold, silver. Happy it pulled back. Every time it pulls back, I'm a buyer. Cool. Cool. What's happening with gold right now? Is it open yet? No, future's not open yet on gold. I think it opens up later on. Yeah. Let me go to AUD USD here. Maestro, you love those bulls, don't you? Hey, John, Atlanta. Hey, Savage. John, WFC, C, MS, GS are looking all great for shorts with a downside of 8%. Really? Yanni? Well, your language should be different there. Instead of saying they're all looking great for a short, you should be saying this stock meets my trading setup and my trading plan, so I'm entering. There is no looking, there is no maybe it's going to be, there is like no. So if you can't say that, then you're still spinning your wheels. I placed the same trade, but bought more puts without waiting for confirmation. Called this the need John trade low. Well, Savage, the problem with doing that and the problem with trading like that, like you may be right now and you may make money now from doing that. And you may do it again next time and you may be right and you may make money. And you may do it next time without having any trading set up, without waiting for confirmation, and so on and so forth. Right? So you may be right 2 or 3 or 4 times by being lucky, right? Because you may have picked the top, may have picked the bottom. But how's that going to serve you for the rest of your life? Because you picking tops, picking bottoms, getting in when you think it's a good idea, there's no consistency there, right? So, but if you have a trading setup that's going to give you consistent results long term, that's how you can start to really, really maximize your results. So it's not about being right with the markets. In fact, if you get in because you think it's a good idea and you actually make money, you are wrong. You realize that. You are wrong because you may have done well with this trade right now, but you may make this trade and next trade and next trade. You may make money 5 times in a row by you trading like that. Guess what's going to happen on the 6th trade? You're going to load right up because you think you know it all, and all that money is going to go away. Understanding price action and range behavior, in my opinion, which makes a success trader. Well, it doesn't make a successful trader, but it's definitely understanding price action is part of a successful trader. But the most important part to a successful trader is they have a plan and they stick to it. Any thoughts on the Shanghai? I don't actually have that here right now. Actually, let me go to major indices. The Shanghai. That's the Chinese market, right? Yeah. Is that the Chinese market, guys? Or is that Japan? The China? Okay, so here's the Chinese market. So if we look at the Chinese market, so this is the Chinese market right now. So this is actually the Chinese market's been picking up pretty strong, hasn't it? Look at this here, guys. Look at this here. So this sideways movement, look at that volatility. Broke down, went sideways, and broke back up. When you understand price action, look at this here. So this market actually was sideways for a while, broke down, then went sideways, and then broke back up through here. What does that mean? This whole thing here was one big false breakout, because if it wasn't a false breakout, we'd run back up and we'd continue down. Because it didn't go down, because it went sideways and then broke back up. If you ever see that, if you ever see a channel, right? So this is more of a channel through here, as you can see. all through here. Support, support, support. If we break that channel and we don't run and we get back above that channel, it's a false breakout and we're now likely to continue. Then look at that weekly chart here. What's that weekly chart? Because that weekly chart could be saying something different. Okay. Interesting. Let's check the from low to high. Where is that level through there? All right, so it stopped at it had that from that low to high point, came down and stopped right there at that 60% level, broke down a little bit, but then followed. This was more of an end of trend move, and then it completely reversed. So looks like the Shanghai China market maybe getting ready to go for a bit more of a run to the downside. Let me bring up a lot more data here on this weekly chart. Can I look at any more data? No, wait, look. Oh, there you go. That's as much data as I can look at. So that's what's happening right now. We actually came down to the 60. Because look at this here, right? Look at all that support around that 60% level there. Broke down on this weekly chart, as you can see. It didn't move at all and then continued up. Really, 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 really interesting. Really interesting. So that tells me, guys, right, that and now we've rallied back up above these high points through here. Looks like that we may be getting ready for a lot more movement on the downside. I mean, on the upside with that there. My day trading list here. Let's go back to the Aussie dollar. I love trading Aussie dollar, guys, by the way. Aussie dollar is pretty awesome. Because when the Aussie dollar makes some moves, it makes some big moves, I think, especially on the intraday. So I love trading that. Trend lines, both long-term, short-term. Yes. Great. Love your energy. Fantastic. The Dow Jones is being kept afloat by Boeing. The party is over. What is happening with Boeing right now? Let's have a look at Boeing. Oh, geez. BA. Boeing. Actually, you know what? Let me actually. Well, yeah, Boeing's taken off, isn't it? Boeing is absolutely just to the moon. Cool. It may be, right. It may be afloat with that there, but you're definitely not. It's definitely not always that there. So, John, is it time for hedging by buying puts? Strangler? Not really. Now, this is the interesting thing is like it depends on your actual strategy itself. What I mean by that is that it depends on on your actual strategy and how it, what your strategy is. Because if you're just an investor, well, you need to have a plan of when you're looking to invest in the markets. I can't tell you whether it's time to hedge or whatever. You need to have a plan when you're getting into these things. So if you're trading the markets, then no, I don't believe in hedging. I believe in getting in, having a stop loss, and using good trade management to maximize your profits or minimize your losses, and then next trade. So that's what I say about there. John, I want to thank you. I've been watching you for 4 weeks, and I'm starting to see things that I had before. I might even open up a broker account next week. Tony L, I would not be trading these markets until you have an actual proven trading setup. Just because you can read read the charts and say what I'm saying, see what I'm saying right now, you still need to know exactly when to enter. So there is no doubt. There is no, is this an entry signal? Is it not? Is it a good trade? Is it not? And so on and so forth, right? Because I knew, for example, right, I knew by looking at this daily chart on Bitcoin back here, I knew once we got this breakout candle that was a confirmation candle for my entry signal. There was no ifs, there was no buts, there was no, is this a good trade? And I'm like, no, this is an A+ setup that I'm getting into right now. And most of these trades run for profits. And long and behold, that's what happened. So that's the most important thing you need to focus on, Tony, before you open up a brokerage account, okay? You need to focus on having a good plan around that. I see now how I've been lucky, but I'm developing my lifetime system. Your lifetime system, okay, cool. Savage, just make sure your lifetime system then is based on how the markets work. Notice that my trading system is based on really just 2 moving averages and price. because price action, the chart itself, is the most important part. John, do you believe in retirement money should be invested long-term with a buy and hold strategy, or should you trade with it? James, the retirement money, what I believe with that is that to trade the retirement account, I still believe you trade it, but you trade it using a system on a weekly chart or a longer term chart. And so therefore you're not getting in and getting out on a day-by-day basis, but you're more getting in if there's a really good, my recommendation is have a good trading setup. Now, my trading setup, I trade on the daily chart, I trade on the 2-minute chart, the 5-minute chart, it's the exact same setup. So with what I do is that I actually look for the exact same setup, but on a weekly chart. So therefore, I'm likely to be in it for maybe a couple of months, maybe 4 or 5 or 6 months. Just depends on how far that runs and so on and so forth. John, do you use any gap trading strategies? No, I don't. No, I just use one trading strategy that I know that works for me, and I just stick to that. Downside or up? You were saying a lot of room downside though. QQQ 10 weeks up on the weekly chart happened since 1987. Cool. Can we expect a healthy pullback? Maybe. Maybe. Like that's the answer there, right? Maybe. So, alrighty, guys. Well, is volume a consideration in your trading? I do use that on my stock trading there, Stephen, but it definitely does tell a story. But on the daily charts, yes, I do. We will have a major pullback, 20 to 50% plunge is expected. You've been watching bipolar too much. I tell you, Rev, seriously. Read the charts, follow the charts. No, you're using language that I know you've been watching him. Seriously, follow the markets. It may not happen. We may make new highs. Don't be foolish. No wonder I was losing money. Fantastic. Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Anyway. All right, guys. Well, that's it for me today. I am done for the day, guys. Have an amazing day, and I will catch you guys next time. All right, guys. Talk to you later.